Good evening. I'd now like to call this Common Council meeting of the City of Dunkirk to order on this third day of June 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Clerk, please conduct a roll call.
Councilmember Liscoia.
Here.
Councilmember Zatorsky. Here. Councilmember Stoyle.
Here.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Here. Thank you, Clerk. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We'd like to just take a moment to congratulate Bob Thompson on his recent retirement from the City of Dunkirk Fire Department and to thank him for his service. So thanks to Bob. Next, we have the certification of prior meetings.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the regular council meeting of Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 was presented to the mayor on Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and seal of the City of Dunkirk, New York, this third day of June 2025.
Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented? Moved by Councilmember Stoyle, seconded by Councilmember Nichols. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Liscoia.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyle.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, the minutes are approved as presented. We now move to privilege of the floor.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case each individual appearing shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing any group who shall be limited to a maximum time of 5 minutes. The privilege of the floor is reserved for members of the public to speak on any subject pertinent to the affairs of city government. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits. The chair may determine in their discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. The chair shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or slanderous or not germane. The time limit specified shall be adhered to, except the chair may allow any person speaking to complete a statement or thought started before such time expires, and a longer time may be allowed by the chair with the approval of the majority of the council.
Thank you. Privilege of the floor is now open. If there are any members of the public who wish to speak, please step forward, state your name and address, and address the council.
Thomas Crane, 253 Maple Avenue, Dunkirk, New York. I have 2 words, 7 years. Most people don't know what that means, but for those that do, can we please get going with this? The buck's getting pretty worn out here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
Hi, my name is Lynn Wallace. I'm at 76 North Ocelot Street. On July 9th, my husband and I would like to do a moonlight bike ride for anyone who is in our area. We'll meet at the boardwalk about 8:15, push off about 8:30, going about 4.5 miles. We suggest helmets, lights for bikes, returning somewhere about 9 p.m., 9:15. My husband will lead, I'll take the back. We have some friends who can help with the middle if we need. Our route will be from the boardwalk, along the lake, to Woodrow Avenue, up to Lakeshore Drive, filing single file in the bike lane to the point, going to the big pavilion, kind of regroup, catch up if we need to, finish the point, go back out to Lakeshore Drive at the light, and we cross. Again, riding single file back down to Woodrow, down the lakefront, and return to the boardwalk. Appreciate some police help, I think, crossing at the point light and on Lakeshore Drive. Then again, when we cross into Woodrow, because there's not a light there. We're just trying to get the community involved. We enjoy our beautiful waterfront and our big moon. This would provide exposure for the boardwalk vendors. There's no prizes, no money. It's just for fun for the community. All are welcome. Let's get excited about Dunkirk, show off our community. If it goes well and we're approved, we could do another full moon adventure.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace.
Council, Department Heads. Gary Frederickson, 750 Deer Street, Dunkirk. I just had a question. I'm thinking more would go to the city attorneys than anybody else, but an article in the Observer a couple weeks ago about a Dunkirk man who died at the county jail, and the county was looking at possibly a $170,000 settlement payment to his family. It had broken down that the county would pay $132,500 out of that, and the city of Dunkirk would pay $37,500. My question is, why is the city responsible to pay anything out of that $170,000? The county has more than enough money to pay the $170,000 on their own, and it's a county-run facility, county employees. Why would Dunkirk be responsible for any of that $170,000?
So the county has not been in touch with us regarding any recent settlement negotiations on that matter. I'm not going to say at liberty to assume what's going on. I know all of our claims go to our insurance company. Once certain claims go to our insurance company, the city loses track of those.
Okay.
Because due to subrogation, just like if there's an insurance claim, if a member of the public had a car accident, that matter may be referred to insurance, and the city loses the right to prosecute those issues.
So Dunkirk's $37,500 would come from insurance money? It wouldn't come from taxpayer money?
If that's happening. So
Okay.
this administration has not been contacted at
Okay.
all regarding the settlement.
Okay.
But
I was just concerned that if it came out of taxpayer money, we're paying county taxes, and they'd be paying their portion, and we pay city taxes, they'd be paying their portion, we'd actually be paying double
yes,
toward that settlement.
I will look into it, but this hasn't come before this council.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frederickson. Anyone else who wishes to speak?
Hi, I'm Catherine Childs with Cat 2s on Lakeshore Drive. Things are breaking. I don't know if that was just sitting here. Okay, so I'm applying for a loudspeaker permit for my tattoo and music festival that we hosted and started last June for Father's Day weekend. This year it's going to be in August at the fairgrounds, and we're applying for loudspeaker permit for the 3 days. Last year we had a really great experience. It was great. The community came together. We had no complaints that I'm aware of at all. And I've spoken to a lot of the people that live in the neighborhood near Central and stuff, and they didn't have any problems at all. So we're confident that it's working out pretty good. It went really well, and everybody had a good time. Yeah, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. So is it still the 4-hour limit per day? That's a question that I had, because we were limited to 4-hour speaker permit a day.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay, well, we made it work last year. We can make it work again. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Going once, twice. Privilege of the floor is now closed. Next, we move to communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor Dovias.
The only thing I'm going to say is thank you to everybody for the Memorial Day Parade, Streets Department, Parks Department. Everything looked great. It was great to see so many people participating in that event. And, finally, hopefully the weather warms up and we can start enjoying some of the summer. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we'll address communications from the public and petitions.
Request from Gospel Church to host an evening of worship at Memorial Park on Friday, September 5th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions? Moved by Councilmember Luskowiak, seconded by Councilmember Nichols. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl. Councilmember Nichols. Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Request from the Fredonia Early Childhood Center to use Brooks Pavilion for their end-of-year picnic on June 25th, 2025, and that fees be waived.
Any discussion, council?
We're not waiving fees. Thought we agreed to that. So they can use the pavilion, but they have to pay the fee.
Anything further, council?
Anybody else?
If the pavilion is, I agree with what Abby's saying, we decided that we were not, this council, to waive fees.
Is there consensus among council that we'd like to add the condition that the fees not be waived?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approved, subject to appropriate insurances and with the condition that the fees not be waived?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Luskoviac, seconded by Councilmember Zatorsky. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Request from James Wallace to host a community moonlight bike ride from the Dunkirk Pier to Point Gratiot and back on July 9th, 2025, from 8:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Also requesting police assistance for traffic control.
Any discussion, council?
Chief, Captain, we're good with this? You'll be able to do the escort?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Councilmember Nichols, did you have something?
No, that was it.
Okay, in that case, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approved, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions? Moved by Councilmember Zatorsky, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Request from Albert G. Nye Jr. on behalf of the Northern Chautauqua County Youth Hockey Association to host a skate drive at the intersections of Central Avenue and 5th Street, as well as West Doty Street near the Fire Hall on Sunday, June 29th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approved, subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions? Moved by Councilmember Stoyl, seconded by Councilmember Zatorsky. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols. Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Notice of claim from Matthew Doyler of 80 McDonough Street for damages caused to his basement, allegedly due to sewer main blockage.
Any discussion, council? Okay, do I have a motion to refer to the Law Department and Department of Public Works? Moved by Councilmember Zatorsky, seconded by Councilmember Stoyl. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Loudspeaker permit request from Catherine Childs to use speakers for music and live bands on August 8th, 9th, and 10th of 2025 from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Chautauqua County Fairgrounds for her Cat 2 Palooza event.
Any discussion, council?
She said 4 hours a day. What 4 hours of the day? There's nothing written in the...
The clerk just indicated 4 to 8 p.m.
We had called her after the request came in.
Anything further, council? Okay, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve? Moved by Councilmember Zatorsky, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Loudspeaker permit request from Gospel Church to use speakers for live band at Memorial Park on September 5th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve? Moved by Councilmember Zatorsky, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Loudspeaker permit request from Dunkirk Veterans Club, World War II, to have live band on July 12th, 2025, from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve? Moved by Councilmember Stoyl, seconded by Councilmember Nichols. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
Loudspeaker permit request from Ashlyn Heenan to have live music at Spike Daly's on August 9th, 2025, from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Any discussion, council? Are we concerned about the range of hours presented here?
What are the range of hours?
Yeah, it's long. longer than 4.
Yeah, that's a residential
They
area.
are allowed to be there till 1 though, because it's on the lake.
Is there an exemption for the waterfront area? Deputy Clerk mentioned. Okay.
What was it last year? It wasn't that long last year, was it? 7 to 1 a.m.?
I imagine it was similar last year. Any further discussion, council?
Outside or outside?
Well, I'm just thinking.
It's going to be outside. She requested bandstands too.
I guess as long as it falls within the parameters of what's allowed.
None of the neighbors have been
It's
talked.
okay.
Right. True.
No, they haven't, according to the thing.
Yeah.
Assuming there's consensus, do I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Luskoviac, seconded by Councilmember Zatorsky. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried.
We have a walk-in loudspeaker permit request from Kelly Esperson to have bands, DJ equipment, and speakers at Off the Hook from June 2025 through October 2025 from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Any discussion, council?
I guess the same thing. Are they allowed to have them for 8 hours, or is that just their time frame?
So can I interject here? All the boardwalk tenants should know that they're not allowed to have music outside or loudspeakers during Music on the Pier on Thursdays. And I don't know if that condition was implied by the council on any of the previous requests, but that is the one condition that we agreed to last year, that during Music on the Pier, they weren't to have music from 5 to 9 p.m.
We did discuss
Right.
that.
But, understood, but she still wants it to be open from 1 to 9, and my question is, does she want to have 8-hour increments, or is that just the window of time? Maybe it'll only be 1 to 3 on a Saturday, or 2 to 7 on a Sunday. Like, can she have 8 hours straight of music? They, them, whoever? Down there? That's just the question, I guess. Are they allowed that long?
There was an exemption, I had to look into it.
This is the walk-in. This is the.
Maybe we could ask her for a schedule of her,
I mean, I'm fine with it, again, if it's permitted, I'm fine with it, if we're not letting some people do it, we shouldn't let others.
When I talked to her, she said this was going to be on a Saturday afternoon. When I talked to her last week.
What are you talking about? At Off the Hook?
Yeah.
maybe we just need more clarification from Kelly?
Yeah, maybe.
In that case, would you like to move to table
Yeah.
the communication?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a motion to table the communication? Moved by Councilmember Zatorsky, seconded by Councilmember Luskoviac. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, motion carried. Communications tabled. We'll now move to reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilmember Luskoviac.
Randy,
Okay.
I had a question about the lighting post and the lighting behind the Clarion and between Tim Hortons and the Clarion. Are we making progress with replacements? Do we have a definite timeline on that?
Sure. First of all, we checked to see if it was insurable, and insurance denied that for different reasons. And so we've just got our CHIPS allocation. We'll take a look at that. There's a DPW committee meeting on Thursday at 1 o'clock, and we'll take a look at the CHIPS allocation. Because it was a federally funded bike and pedestrian path, it is CHIPS eligible to replace some of those lights. So even though we couldn't get insurance for it, we ought to take a look at what we can do. I don't want to spend city ad valorem tax money on it, but if we can use CHIPS money and not damage what we want to do with our roads and cut into that, then I think it's a project that we could get done this year.
Okay, maybe we could just do 1 or 2 a year, and maybe we should also look into stronger light posts, perhaps.
I'd like to get them all done at once, including some of the residential poles that are around. And I think we'll get economy of scale discount if we do everything at once. So that's what I'm going to talk about on Thursday, and put some numbers with Mike and Andy and everybody else there.
Thank you. Hey, Vince, can you speak about the farmers market, the start date, any new vendors, discounts for people with food stamps, etc.? The new appearance is amazing. I encourage everyone to check it out.
I'd be glad to. So we once again want to thank Refresco because they have stepped up to be our title sponsor for this season, and thank them for all the tremendous support that they're giving us this year and in years past. The market will actually start next Wednesday, June 11th, and run through October 8th. The hours are 9 a.m. To 2 p.m., rain or shine, and it's at the Farmers Market Pavilion on Ruggles Street behind the Dunkirk Senior Center. Market vendors are confirmed for the season so far include Roberto Fred Farms, Richard Finan Farms, Conklin Family Farms, Sunshine Honey, and Gardens of Eternity. The market will be participating in the New York State Ag and Markets Fresh Connect Checks program, which you're referring to, that utilizes SNAP that can double their dollars up to $50 to be used for fruits, vegetables, meats, honey, eggs, and other eligible food type items. If anyone wants more information, there is information on the city's website and vendor applications to find out more about how other vendors may want to participate in the farmers market.
Awesome, thank you. The next Economic Development Committee meeting is Tuesday, June 24th at 4 p.m. in the conference room of the Economic Development Department. All residents are welcome. Let's find out what our city is carrying out this summer.
Thank you. Councilmember Zatorsky.
Yes, I had sent an email on May 25th to the mayor and to Ann Davis regarding the ACO. I have not gotten a response from either of you, so I was just wondering if you guys have any kind of response as to what's going on.
The position's been offered to the individual, and we've not gotten a response from her.
I wasn't finished.
Okay.
I mean, there's no point, obviously, because I spoke to that person. So I'm just wondering if this person doesn't take it, people are saying now the shelter's closing. Is there any truth to that rumor? It's all over Facebook. People want to know.
Well, number one, rumors in this town just have to stop. Social media, you can't believe what you're hearing on the street.
Well, we can't believe what we're hearing in here most of the time. So,
okay.
I mean, are you trying to fill that position? It's been over a year. Are we actively trying to fill that position, or are we just letting it go by the wayside?
We are working on it.
Okay, that's all I have.
Oh, okay.
Councilmember Stoyle.
Captain, my hat's off to the girls and guys on their last two buses. Keep it up. Maybe someday we'll get it. Chief, the other chief, how's our new recruits going?
Doing great. Working out well.
Okay. The stage is yours.
Councilmember Nichols.
I, along with Abby, have asked numerous times at many council meetings on the status of that, and was told at the meetings that no one has applied. I personally talked to this girl as well, and she's more than willing and eager to take the job over. And there are people that have contacted me on being able to adopt a couple of the dogs that are in that shelter, and I had one today, as a matter of fact. Because the scenario is, if no one is tending to those dogs, who is going to be tending to them if our current person is no longer tending to them? That's all I'm going to say on that matter. I'm a dog lover. I have 7 dogs in the family, and don't talk to me about not taking care of a dog. I mean, Abby knows. We got Mabel. Next DPW meeting, as Randy said, will be Thursday at 1 p.m. in DPW office in the Stearns building. Anyone is welcome to attend. Next brush collection will be June 9th. Bulk collection. Please see the clerk office to register and pay. You have a pickup for a bulk item at your residence. Brush pickup for May has ended. Please do not place any brush at the curb. Working with Mr. Woodbury and Mr. Gustafson about issuing citations if there is items left out at the curb. Last Saturday, my daughter and I drove over to Ellery Center to the landfill there with 18 bags of yard waste. It is a 34-minute trip from my house in the 4th Ward over there, waiting in line, dumping your stuff, and coming back home. I just would like to know if the mayor has even considered finding an alternate plan for our city residents, because I cannot imagine anyone older than myself driving over there with their yard waste. And I know they don't have the funds to hire a landscape person to do their yard work and haul the stuff away. The parade, yes, it was wonderful. And I have to say, I'm a DHS graduate. That band this year was phenomenal. The directors did a great job and brought a tear to my eye. Very, very proud. Dunkirk should be very proud. Lastly, Randy, are we going to be going out to bid soon on paving?
Yes, and we're going to discuss that at the DPW committee meeting. And a little update to what you said, Carol, Mayor's Secretary, was able to secure the Mayor's conference room for that meeting at 1 o'clock on Thursday. There's been quite a few people in the public that want to come to that meeting, so we have a little bigger room, air conditioned. So 1 o'clock Thursday, and Andy and I will present a preliminary list on the paving projects.
And you'll have a tentative list of streets that would be addressed?
Exactly.
And as the time narrows down, you will have Pam do a press release for the newspaper so people can stay attuned to that?
Of course.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. I'd just like to add my thanks to Director DeChoy, the police and fire chiefs, their departments, and everyone else who contributed to the Memorial Day Parade and activities last week. It's always great to see the community come together for those events and to remember those who gave their lives in service to our country. And just so everyone's aware, Finance Committee meetings will be shifted to the same weeks as council meetings moving forward, which means our next Finance Committee meeting will be held on Monday, June 16 at 9 a.m. in the Mayor's Conference Room. Moving on, it appears there's no unfinished business, so we'll now address the pre-filed resolutions. Clerk, please introduce resolution number 33-2025.
Resolution 33-2025, authorizing absolvement of agreement with the City of Dunkirk and the DLDC to conduct the Small Business Loan Program.
Is there any discussion, council? Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll for the vote on resolution 33-2025.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 34-2025, to refer to the Planning Board the discontinuance or abandonment of Deer Street north of 4th Street to Save-A-Lot Plaza.
Any discussion, council? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll for the vote.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
No.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
We're going to take a pause here for a moment during this voting. Just explain what this resolution is for doing this. It has to go before the planning board. Can someone explain it before further vote, because there's some confusion here?
I would be glad to, and I think that perhaps you don't have all the information. So we have been in discussions with the owners of the Save-A-Lot Plaza, myself, Randy, and Attorney Ramondo. And what has been negotiated is the fact that we're now looking to abandon only the section north of the entrance to Lakeshore Savings Bank. So there really is no reason not to do this. This is going to, if you're trying to block a $40 million development there at the landings at Dunkirk, or the homestead at Dunkirk, then go ahead. But this is about, you know, making this project work. and providing the parking that they need, and was negotiated by Regan Development and the owners of the Save-A-Lot Plaza.
This is just a resolution to go before the planning board
Yes.
for their decision on if this should be a yea.
No, it's basically the planning board to look at it and make sure that everything is being done properly, and then to remove it from the official city map.
So then council does not have a vote on doing it?
Yes, they do. There will be a local law that would be put forth to do that.
So that would be the time that we chose to either vote for that local law or not vote for that.
There would be,
local law.
yes. Correct, City Attorney?
Yes, and
Well, we have to have this resolution before it can go to the planning board, so it does go. Correct? That's not correct, Vince?
Yes, and I will add, Councilwoman Nichols, that there was public hearing on abandoning this property last council meeting. There were no public comments on the matter.
Right.
Yes.
No handshaking. Want everything in black and white.
Yes, none on the part of the city attorney's office or the mayor's office. I won't speak for the other two gentlemen, but I don't believe that there were no handshakes. Or I don't believe that there were any handshakes or anything like that.
Well, we've been virgin up on a lot of things that have come down the line.
For a handshake.
Yeah.
So Randy, you recommend this go to the planning board?
Yeah, if I could just interject a little bit. I'd like to thank Erica and Alan for coming up. I think all of us wanted to protect the interest of the frontage of Lakeshore Savings. They've been here, a big institution in Dunkirk, for almost 150 years. Very popular drive-through and things like that. That was a big impediment to the first application that we had, and the public hearing we had included giving the Save-A-Lot people that frontage to Lakeshore Savings. Public Works was against that. I think a lot of people on council were against that, but since then, the applicants from Save-A-Lot have revised their request, and they only want to get what's north of the Lakeshore Saving drive-through entrance, which I agree with Vince. Right now it's used as parking for Save-A-Lot, so it would convey the interest in that. We would reserve an easement for that for first responders to get through, for the Carts Bus, which is an agreement. The Carts Bus stops 19 times at that kiosk that's owned by the county, and that's an agreement with the city. So that by modifying their request that these people help work out, that would preserve the cart stop, it would preserve all of the frontage of Lakeshore Savings, so it's a much different thing. But once it goes to the planning board, whatever they decide, it's going to come back to the council. And whatever the planning board decides, you have the ultimate say, are we going to do this or not? The planning board has to weigh in about whether they approve, if you approve it, that it would change the map. So this is one step to get back to you to actually do a formal yes or no.
Randy, could we have some kind of a written documentation from the bank that they are going along with this, because they are a shareholder in this city for 130 years?
I just took a look at Section 29 of General City Law, and it requires the planning board to notify all adjoining parcels of what's going on here. And I will talk to the bank people I've been talking to and ask them to put in writing what their position would be, so it's absolutely clear. Also, it has to do with land. Nothing regarding land can be done by verbal or handshake. It goes back to English common law. I just happen to know this because I'm a licensed land surveyor. Land conveyances have to be memorialized in writing and filed officially with the Chautauqua County Clerk. So all that has to start now. So all of your observations are absolutely right. And when we had the hearing, even though nobody spoke, there are a lot of people here and there still had some ideas that had to be addressed. So I think there's no danger going to the planning board, but it's all going to come back here anyhow. And I kind of would like to have their opinion on it as well.
Assessor Munson, did you have something?
I am in full agreement that there were concerns with the original scope. This would take it from 4th Street, or the original would have been 4th Street all the way through the parking lot. This takes it to the north point of the bank's property line to 4th Street, leaving it alone, having that as city-owned street. This would cut it off at that property line, heading towards the lake. So it's truly the parking lot area, not the roadway that there was so much of that initial concern. So I'm very comfortable, if anyone asked my opinion, I'm very comfortable with this move to let this go to the planning board. It not only preserves city-owned paper streets and roadways, but it also preserves long-standing community businesses.
And none of those trees or anything in the drawing will be disturbed that's in the median where the Hearts shelter is, correct?
Exactly.
I mean, they're mature trees now, and it would be a shame if they were uprooted and asphalt put in.
Councilmember Ruscovia.
Oh, yeah, all of the concerns are very valid, and I'm glad they were brought up, but I know one of the two developers, which we all know, is very accommodable to our concerns, and, you know, we're lucky to have him as a developer because we've known, you know, other developers that have not been so thorough and concerned with our city and that, so I just wanted to add that.
Any further discussion, council? Okay, considering the vote was paused for clarification before it was finalized, I'd ask that we begin the vote again so that all members may cast an informed vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, the resolution's adopted.
Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, I understand there is a walk-in resolution.
Yes.
Clerk, would you please introduce that?
Walk-in Resolution 35-2025. Resolution to accept a donation from Revitalize Dunkirk for the purchase and installation of Handicapton on the Dunkirk Pier.
Okay, we'll need a motion to accept the walk-in resolution onto the agenda.
I just want to, yes, I accept.
Okay, moved by Councilmember Nichols. Is there a second?
She's all yours.
Is there a second?
Oh.
Seconded by Councilmember Luskowiak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye. Motion carried. Is there any discussion on walk-in resolution number 35-2025, council?
Yes, Vince, I've read your email and all that you were going to do to solicit for extra funds that were needed on this. Several years ago, and I was in great conversations with him, Southtown Walleye was very interested in doing a platform that would accommodate handicapped people in getting into the boats, as you probably are well aware of. It was to be behind Stefan's, and things happened there that could not be. So if you're reaching out for extra fundings, you might want to check with Southtown Walleye, and they might be able to give you some assistance on that venture before you address our local clubs on it.
Thank you. Any suggestion for potential donors would be greatly appreciated, but want to sincerely thank the efforts of Revitalize Dunkirk that's going to be providing the $15,000 through various donations they solicited for the actual apparatus itself and the installation of it. And we're looking for assistance with the concrete pad that needs to be prepared to the specifications of this apparatus, what we'll call it, that will be the lift that will, give people the opportunity who can't otherwise get in or out of a boat to get to enjoy the lake as everyone else can.
Is there further discussion, council? Okay, seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Luskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, resolution's adopted. Is there any further new business to be discussed this evening? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councilmember Nichols. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilmember Lyskowiak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Zatorsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Weiser.
Aye, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.